Hi everyone, this is Nadia from China Missions, and I have my colleague Dolgan here as well. So we will start the info session. So we'll let you know how to apply to Chinese universities, and we can guide you further with all the information you need, especially to prepare for your applications to Chinese universities for the September 2021 intake, because the deadline is just coming up. It's actually will come up in the next 2 to 3 months. So you have a very limited time to prepare for everything. So again, thank you guys for joining this online info session. We hope that you get all the information you need, and most importantly, we hope to help you apply to Chinese universities and to successfully guide you with your applications to Chinese universities. Right. So if you have any questions, please do leave it on the chat. And yeah, we will help to answer all the questions at the end of the session. So we'll then finish this presentation first to give you all the information you need. And if you have further questions, you can just drop your questions on the chat and we'll get back to that after the info session. So right, so I think we can start. First of all, I would like to welcome you. So with the phrase "channel welcomes you" or "中国欢迎你." So right, so then I'll introduce myself first. So for those of you who didn't know me, or maybe you haven't seen my videos on China Missions YouTube channel, my name is Nadia. I'm the advisor at China Missions, and I'm currently based in Beijing, China, but I'm originally from Indonesia. So I studied at Beijing before, precisely at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. And yeah, I studied there back then in 2017 up to 2019. And then I got my master's degree, and then I worked for China Missions because I realized how fun it is to actually being able to study in China. And I wanted to help more and more international students to come to China and to experience all the good stuff I've experienced while I'm living in China. And next up, joining this session today, I have my colleague Dolgan. She's the enrollment manager at China Missions, and she's originally from Mongolia, and she also studied at the same university as I did. It is at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. Actually, she got her bachelor's degree, master's degree, and is now doing her PhD degree at UIB in Beijing. So she has a lot of experience, especially about living in Beijing. How is it to be an international student in China, because she has lived in China for like about 8 years. And yeah, if you have any questions later about Chinese universities, about how to apply, we will definitely help you answer all the questions by sharing the information today. So next up is a little bit about China Missions. Is that China Missions is an award-winning platform for international students to apply to Chinese universities. So we partner with over 100 of top Chinese universities in mainland China and also Hong Kong. And we have over 100,000 of registered students on our platform. And each year we have helped like hundreds of students to apply to Chinese universities on a yearly basis. And in the recent years, our company has won several awards, like the 2019 Foreign Entrepreneurs 30 in China, and also we are nominated by the Holland IQ China at Tech 100. And our company also got the Chaoyang Phoenix Grant, which is from the from the Beijing Chaoyang government in both 2019 and also in 2020. And a little bit about our team, so you can understand us better, is that our team came from different countries and also different backgrounds. So it's quite a multicultural team here at China Missions, because a lot of us came from different countries. Like I came from Indonesia, you know that my colleague Dogan is from Mongolia. We have other colleagues from other countries as well, like from Philippines, from Malaysia, from China, from Rwanda, from other African countries. So, and a lot of us were also former students at Chinese University. So we know how it is becoming an international student in China. We know how it is, the experience of studying in China, and we know how it is to apply to Chinese universities. So with our expertise, we are here ready to help you with your applications to Chinese universities. So a little bit further, our office is located in Beijing, China. So I'm live from Beijing at the moment, and our company is founded by Richard Coward, which is our founder and CEO, who came from UK. And here's a little bit more information about our team here at China Missions. You can contact me, Nadia, and also my colleague Didier Frank from Rwanda, who speaks a lot of languages. He speaks English, French, Kinyarwanda. So if you speak French, maybe you can contact him for better communications because I don't. I'm so sorry. And then we have like I can introduce you to my other colleagues like Dolgan who came from Mongolia, and also we have Celia Ding from China. So Dolgan and Celia is the one responsible for processing all the applications. So after you've completed your applications, then it will be processed by Dolgan and also Celia. Next up, these are some of the partner universities that we have a partnership with. It's actually a lot of big universities in China, like Tongji University, and then Wuhan University, Zhejiang University of Science and Technology, BFSU, UIBE, Huazhong University of Science and Technology, is China Normal University, BIT, Beijing Institute of Technology, and so many others. You can see all the pictures here, and you can also check the information on our platform. So basically, the agenda for today's info session is just to give you overview about the admissions for 2021 intake, about the application process to Chinese universities, tips and tricks, and also scholarship. So please stay tuned because we will share the scholarship information almost at the end of the session, and then we will have the Q&A session at the end. So a brief overview about why you should be studying in China, because I noticed that some of you might still be wondering like why you should be studying in China. Maybe you're still unsure about it. So the first reason is obviously to learn Chinese because as everybody knows, Chinese language is basically the most spoken language in the world. And it is spoken by more than 1 billion people in the whole world at the moment. So it is going to be such an advantage if you can have the Chinese language skills, and it will be a lot more advantage if you can develop your skills while studying in China. So the next reason is that because China is at the moment becoming one of the most popular destination for international students. There are about 500,000 international students that are currently studying in China, and there are numerous reasons of why China is becoming more and more popular. One of the reasons is that Chinese universities are universities with high reputation. So the Chinese universities are increasingly well respected, and the numbers of universities included in a major global universities ranking has risen significantly over the past 5 years. So it means that a lot more Chinese universities are like getting more prestigious, and then they are also having like a good rankings even compared to other major global universities from all over the world. So universities like, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Peking University or maybe Tsinghua University or Zhejiang University, Fudan University. It's obviously very familiar for all of you who have the willingness to study in China. But I can assure you that the good universities in China are not just limited to, like to Tsinghua University or Peking University or Zhejiang University. It's not just limited to all those universities, but it's beyond that. There are far more other good and reputable universities in China that you can apply for that offers programs for international students to study at their university. So the next thing is that obviously, studying in China is relatively affordable, especially if you compare that to study at other countries like US, UK, even Australia or Japan. So for the tuition fee itself, if you want to study in China, for the non-degree Chinese language program, it only starts from 1,000 US dollar per semester. And for the degree programs like bachelor, master, and PhD, the tuition fee ranges from like 2,000 US dollar to 13,000 US dollar per year. Obviously, it depends on which program you're applying for. And also it depends on which university you go for. So if you are applying for the international universities, where you can get dual degree, maybe more international experience, and all sorts of that. Obviously, the tuition fee would be higher than other Chinese public universities. And for the accommodation, it's also relatively affordable in China. So for the accommodation itself, you can choose to stay on campus or off campus. And then it's pretty cheap. So on average, for the living expenses itself, a total for the accommodation and also for your living expenses, like to cover for the food, transportation, and others, you only need about 500 to 800 US dollar per month, and you can live very nice and comfortable in China. So yes, it depends on your lifestyle. And the next thing, it depends also on where you live. So if you choose to study in cities like Beijing or Shanghai, therefore the living expenses and also the accommodation expenses might be higher than other cities in China, because Beijing and Shanghai is the most expensive cities in the whole mainland China. Next reason is that China is the country with fast development. So all these pictures here I've shown you is not just pictures from Beijing or Shanghai. Yes, there is a Beijing's picture over there, but there are also other cities here like Xiamen, Chengdu, where, maybe in the international point of view, Chengdu and Xiamen is not as big as Beijing. But from what you can see in the pictures here, even cities that are not as big as Beijing or Shanghai, like Chengdu or Xiamen, the development over there is, I would say, it's quite advanced. And then Chinese government, they're investing a lot in developing their cities, in developing the infrastructure, in developing the roads, railways, and all the transportation systems. So it will be more advanced, more and more advanced, and it will make all the people who live there can live more comfortably. Next thing is about the technology advancement. I'm sure that all of you might have heard of this, especially if you have read some news on the internet. You have heard that you can survive in China with only your phone, right? So yes, it's true. You can live in China with, with just bringing your phone, because your phone is literally your savior if you live in China. Because of the technology advancement, you can easily do everything with just a single click from your smartphone in China. So you can do grocery shopping, you can rent a bike, you can pay for almost anything in China, you can book a taxi, you can even rent an apartment with just your phone. With just a click on your phone, you can pretty much do everything, and you can also pay for everything. And yeah, to sum up, basically, if you study in China, you will have an endless travel opportunities, and you can discover delicious Chinese cuisines. And not just Chinese cuisines, there are good international restaurants over here as well. And you can have the chance to meet friends from literally all over the world. When I was studying here, I meet friends not just from Southeast Asia countries, but I do meet friends from like literally other countries, even from other continents. My friends came from like Europe. I have friends from Australia. I have friends from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, like literally everywhere around the world. And then it will definitely help you to eventually develop a global mindset, which is, in my opinion, it's very important these days because the world is getting more and more connected. So it's best if you can learn, if you can learn beyond what you know in your own country. So it's best if you can experience a more international experience, get to know people from other countries, get to know people from other cultures, learn more about other people's cultures. So it will help you develop a global mindset, which will be very beneficial for your future, and also which will be very beneficial for your future career as well. So next up is important dates, especially about the admissions. Yes, admissions is open for the September 2021 intake, and then the next intake, if you want to apply for a degree program, would be in September 2021, because for March 2021, unfortunately, the application deadline has passed. And so these are all the important dates for the application deadlines. So for the self-finance application, if you are applying for degree programs or non-degree programs for the September 2021 intake, then the deadline would be around May to July 2021. And also if you're applying to C9 universities, which is referring to universities like Tsinghua University, Peking University, Shanghai Jiaotong University, Zhejiang University, Fudan University, then the application deadline would be around January to April 2021. And also, if you're applying for the Chinese government scholarship, especially for the Chinese government scholarship type B, where you need to send your application documents to the university, then the application deadline for the Chinese government scholarship would be in March 31st. Right, so after March 31st, universities will no longer accept Chinese government scholarship application anymore. So if you're applying for the CSA scholarship, please be sure to submit your applications before the deadline. And this is also applies to all of you who apply on a self-finance basis as well. So if you apply to Chinese universities, make sure to apply before the application deadline because universities will not accept late application. Right, so there are over 2,000 programs available in China in English. And these are the popular and recommended programs in China that you can consider applying for. If you are probably interested to apply for MBBS or medicine, you can consider universities like Tongji University, Shantou University Medical College, and then Huazhong University of Science and Technology and HAS. These are all top options, popular options as well among our students who wants to apply for medicine program. And then if you want to go for a business program, first of all, I would definitely recommend my previous university, UIBE, University of International Business and Economics, because UIBE is indeed one of the best business school in China. And then other program is Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. They also have a very cool Bachelor in Global Business Studies. I've seen the curriculum. I think it's very interesting for all of you to learn this program if you're interested to learn about business. And last but not least, it will be from Tongji University. If you're interested to learn a master's program in management, you can consider Tongji University. And then for more information, please go to our platform right away to check for other programs. Let's say if you're interested with engineering programs or biotechnology or like computer science or anything, please go directly to our platform, which is on that link over there. It's apply.china-admissions.com/search, where you can just directly search the program you want to apply for and then get all the list of the available programs that you can apply for. Right, so I
Yeah.
have a few more recommendations. So basically, these are for students who are interested to apply for MBA programs, Masters in Business Administration, or the MBA degrees. Well, for sure, you can consider these dual degree programs from Peking Universities, which is in collaboration with UCL in London, and also Fudan University in collaboration with MIT in the US. Of course, no, everybody knows what MIT is. And then the next one is the Fudan Finance MBA program. It's for those of you who have developed career in the finance industry. I think this will be suitable for you. And also MBA programs at SIPS, China Europe International Business School, which is the best MBA program in Asia. And next up, if you are looking for a dual degree opportunities where you can get dual degrees, like one degree from China and another degree from overseas, I would recommend these three universities. First one is Yan Xiaotong Liverpool University. Their campus is in Suzhou, but they are they're basically a part of Liverpool University in UK. So you will have one degree from China and another from the UK. And then there's also Sino British College with have collaboration with several universities in the
Hello.
UK. And then there is also ABS, Asia Europe Business School, where they have a collaboration with Amlion Business School in French. Guys, if you have any questions, please do leave your message on the chat. Just make sure to leave it on the chat and then we will cover all your questions at the end of the session. Thank you. Right, so these are all the other recommendations I have for the universities and also for the programs that you can apply for in China. So probably I can share a little bit of them. Right, like you have BFSU, Beijing Foreign Studies Universities for business programs, and then MBBS, Shantou University Medical College, Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen for various programs. They have business program, economics, computer science, engineering, and then there is ZUS, Zhejiang University of, sorry, there's a typo. ZUS is Zhejiang University of Science and Technology in Hangzhou. So they have non-degree Chinese language program, bachelor and master's program in engineering, science, business, and computer science. And there's also Northwestern Polytechnical University in Xi'an, where they offer a non-degree Chinese language program. And they also offer bachelor and master's program in engineering, business, science, architecture, aerospace, engineering, biotechnology, and others. So if you are looking forward to probably learn Chinese language online, then you can consider these online Chinese language programs like the one from BLCU, Beijing Language and Culture University, which is one of the leading university in China, especially for students who wish to study language. So they do offer one-on-one Chinese language program, and they also offer a group Chinese language program for international students. And then another one, this is a new program. However, so far, I think it's been going great. And then This is by far also the cheapest online Chinese language program available. It's from Dalian Yusof University of Information. They have Chinese language program in group class and also in one-on-one class, and it's very intensive. So you can learn for like 3-4 hours a day, which means that you can really speed up the level, your Chinese level. You can really go from like HSK 0 to HSK 4. HSK 4, for those of you who doesn't know, HSK 4 means you are basically fluent in Chinese language. So if you go with this program by Dalian Yusof University of Information, you can go from HSK 0 to HSK 4 in just 26 weeks. And therefore, you'll be able to apply to Chinese universities later to do your degree programs in Chinese. Right, so this is the entry requirement for Chinese universities. Make sure that all of you is already 18 when you are applying to Chinese universities, because you need to be 18 to apply to Chinese universities. And then Chinese universities also do impose a maximum age limit for your application as well. If you're applying for bachelor, the age limit is 25 to 30, and then for master it's 35, and then for PhD is 40 to 45. And then whether you need English certificate or HSK certificate, it depends on which program you're applying for. Basically, if you're applying for English taught programs, then it means you need to submit English certificate. Unless if you came from English speaking countries, maybe you are from America or you're from UK, Australia, New Zealand, then English certificate will not be required. But if you're not from any of those countries, then but you studied in English. For example, you are from Indonesia is not English speaking countries, but you studied in international high school, so you studied the whole 3 years of high school in English. Then you can just ask your school to write a letter which basically confirms that the education in your high school is taught completely in English. So then you will be exempted from submitting the English certificate, and you will only need HSK certificate if you're applying for the Chinese taught programs. Okay, so if you're applying for the English taught program, let's say you're applying for Bachelor in Business in English, then you will not need to submit any HSK certificate when you are applying. Next up is the application process. So how to complete the application? It's basically very easy. First of all, you just need to choose the program, and then you need to apply online. You need to complete the online application. You need to upload the documents and then pay the application fee, and then you can submit your application on China Admissions. And so first of all, you need to choose the program you want to apply for, because there are like about 4,000 programs that you can choose from. You can go to our platform, which is on apply.china-admissions.com/search, where you can find all the programs that you can apply for. So this is it, the China Admissions platform. So you can basically write it over there. There's a search bar where you can write the programs that you want to apply for. For example, you can write business or MBBS or computer science or electrical engineering or aerospace engineering. It depends on which program you're applying for. You just type it over there. And then once you type it, you can see all the programs available for you to apply for, and you can just filter it with the filters over here in the left side of the page. So here, if let's say you're interested to study business, bachelor in business, there are 73 programs in China that you can apply for, and then you can just select some of them that is best suitable for you, and then you can start your online application for these programs. So for example, I'll show you like the step-by-step guide on how to apply and how to complete your application on China Admissions platform. So first of all, let's say you have already selected a program, Bachelor's in Business Administration at XJTLU. So all you need to do would be to click that red button over there which says apply now, and then you can start your online application. You can either create an account on our platform if you don't have it. If you already have it, you can just directly log in to start your online application. And the first step will be to fill in the online application. So you just need to fill in the information about yourself, like your contact details, and then your education background, your work experience, and also information about your family, your emergency contact, about your finance, like how would you pay for your studies in China. So after that, after all of that is completed, then you can just upload the documents. There will be a list of the documents that you need to upload. So after you've completed the documents, or you can also upload and complete the documents later. If let's say you don't have some of it, just make sure to complete all the documents before the application deadline. And the last step would be to pay for the application fee. So here it depends on which university you're applying for. But for XJTLU, for example, because they don't charge application fee, the application fee is zero, then you can directly go to the next stage. But if let's say you're applying for other universities, let's say BIT, Beijing Institute of Technology, then it will be displayed how much is the application fee that you need to pay. And after you've paid the application fee, we will then process, and also we will double check your application and process it. So here is the required documents that you need for your applications to Chinese universities. Probably you can just screenshot this page so you can have this information available for you in the future. So in brief, these are all the documents you need. Non-criminal record, and then foreigners physical examination form, your parents' passport, your guardianship letter if you are under 18 years old, and then there might be they might request you to submit recommendation letters as well, even for undergraduate application. So next thing is about application fee. Application fee. So what exactly is application fee? Application fee is required by the university in order to process your application, prepare and send the admissions notice and visa form to your home address, and it is non-refundable. Usually the application fee itself, it is about $80 to $150 each. And how to pay the application fee? We at China Admissions, we provide several payment methods you can use to make your life easier. So you can process. So I already mentioned to you on how you can complete your application. So in this case, your application has been successfully submitted on China Admissions, and then we will double check your application again. We will review it again to make sure your application already have the completed documents so we can successfully submit it to the Chinese universities. So China Admissions team will then submit your application to the universities, and then you can wait for the university's decision. Usually university will need about 4 to 8 weeks to review your application and to eventually give you an update about your application, and thus it will result in either getting an acceptance from the university or your application being rejected by the university. And then if you're accepted, students only need to pay the deposit fee, which is basically to secure your seat, to confirm that you are going to study there, and this is for self-financed students. And then the university will then process your visa form and also admissions notice, and then so students can apply for the visa at Chinese embassy and fly to China. So please do note as well that this is the process under normal circumstances or before COVID-19 happened. So right now, because there is COVID-19 all over the world, basically, and China still closed the border for international students. Therefore, universities are still not able to process your visa form until further notice, and basically until Chinese government decided to open the border again for international students. Right, so these are some informations about scholarship we can share with you. There's this 1+3 scholarship program at BLCC and Tianjin University when you can apply, where you can study Chinese language program for 1 year. And for the first year, you have to pay the tuition fee by yourself. You have to basically self-finance. And then the remaining 3 years to study Chinese language bachelor program at Tianjin University, they are offering scholarships in form of free tuition fee and also monthly living subsidy. And there's also the 1+4 program at BLCC and Tianjin University. The only main difference is the 4 years at Tianjin University will be for studying bachelor's program in engineering, business, computer science, arts, other languages, and etc. They basically have about 40 to 50 bachelor programs in Chinese that you can apply for. And the scholarship coverage is the same. It's free tuition fee and also monthly living subsidy when you are studying the bachelor program at Tianjin University. And the first year at BLCC will be self-funded. And there are a couple more of scholarships for masters and also for PhD students. So for masters, there is Beijing Foreign Studies Universities, especially for the masters in international business program, where they offer university scholarship, which cover free tuition fee for excellent international students. And there's also Zhejiang University of Science and Technology, or ZAS, and they also offer ZAS Provincial Government Scholarship, which basically cover 20,000 RMB for the first year as a form of tuition fee discount. So it's basically after the 20,000 RMB discount, the tuition fee is pretty much free anyway. So yeah, it's for 2 years, and they're located in Shanghai, and most of their master's program is in engineering field, like chemical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and so on. And there's also Jiangsu University in Zhenjiang City. So they have scholarships for both master's and also PhD program. So for master's program, they have various master's program available for international students in English. So they have a business, master in business, and then masters in engineering field like agriculture, engineering, chemical engineering, civil engineering, and so on. And the scholarship coverage is 20,000 RMB per year as a form of tuition fee discount. So after the tuition fee discount, you pretty much just need to pay about 4 to 5,000 RMB per year, which is very, very cheap. And then the last one would be a scholarship for PhD students at Jiangsu University. They have various PhD program available in English, especially in engineering field, like PhD in computer science and technology, PhD in environmental engineering, food science engineering, and so on. So for PhD students, they are offering free tuition fee and also accommodation for as a form of the scholarship. So please do note that the scholarship here is not guaranteed, because the final decision maker will be the universities. Although we can help you apply and we can help to check whether or not you're eligible for the scholarship, but the final decision maker is still the university. Right, so I'll share some of the tips and tricks on how to choose the program. Like for example, if you're still confused on how to choose the program, you can think of, first of all, is about the major. What is your future career goal? Which subject do you like the most, or do you want to study further? Like if let's say you're studying bachelor, you will be studying bachelor's for at least 4 years, right? You just need to make sure that the subject that you will be studying for 4 years is the subject that you like. And the second one is about budget. You need to know who will fund your studies in China and how much is your budget. And this will help you determine which university that you can apply for. And last but not least will be the location. Although it's not mandatory, but there are some preferences as well in terms of location, because China is so big, to be honest. And then the weather itself in the entire China, it can be different from one to another. Let's say if you're studying in Harbin, and then if you're studying in Kunming, of course, the weather it's going to be like a very, very different, because in Harbin, if it's in winter, you will be like in the minus 25 degrees Celsius, for example. But in Kunming, China, there is no winter. So it's kind of like a tropical weather over there. So yeah, make sure that you choose the right location, because some of you probably prefer not to study in a very hot cities, or maybe you don't want to study in cold cities. So make sure to do your research as well to choose in order to check which location best suits you. And yeah, if you need more information or if you need further help, you can also do this quick quiz over here. It's at quiz.china-admissions.com. Right. So yeah, and if some of you are probably have this problem, if maybe you are graduating in December this year, so you can probably consider doing like a one semester Chinese language program in March, and then so you can enroll for the degree programs in China in September, because most of the degree programs, especially for master and PhD, they will be only offered in September intake. Right, so guidelines for a successful application. First of all, you need to meet the eligibility criteria. You need to have excellent academic performance. Make sure that you have an adequate Chinese or English proficiency skills. You need to submit all required documents and also complete the application fee payment before the deadline. This is very important because, as I mentioned before, Chinese universities don't accept late applications. And for sure, you need to apply on China Admissions. And you can apply to multiple Chinese universities to increase your chances of securing the admissions. And you also need to get the supervisor acceptance letter if you're applying for PhD programs in China. So next thing is about why China Admissions. So I've been telling you how to apply to China Admissions and what we do, but why you should consider using China Admissions. So first of all, it's because China Admissions is free of charge. So we don't charge any service fee to help you apply to Chinese universities. So it is 100% free because we're funded by the universities. So you only need to pay the application fee as required by the universities. So this basic free service is available to self-funded students. Right. And also there are some other scholarships that I mentioned before that we can help you apply for. So China Admissions is also a one platform for all, which means you can search and apply to multiple universities in just one platform, in just one click on China Admissions website. There's no need for you to go to different website to like fill in the application form multiple times. You can just do it once on China Admissions. And then China Admissions team is also responsive and we are reachable anytime by email, WhatsApp, and you can also schedule a call with us. Right, so we have different services that we offer to students. We have the basic free service where you only need to pay the application fee. It says 150 over there because that's basically the application fee that you need to pay, or the application fee ranges from 80 to $150. But we also have the other services, let's say the guaranteed application service, and also we have the priority service as well. So for the guaranteed service, basically it's $690 and you will have a personal advisor to help and guide you with your application to Chinese universities. And then it includes the application fees of 3 different universities. And we will make sure that at least one of the university you're applying for will accept you as the student. So how do we do it? For sure, we will review your documents first. We'll check whether you're eligible for the programs and I will send you our recommended programs that you can apply for. Right, if you need more information, you can go to vip.china-admissions.com for more information. And for the scholarship service, we have this new scholarship consulting service, especially for students who want to apply for the Chinese government scholarships. So yeah, due to the limited time and also the limited number of human resources we may not be able to offer free services to all of you, especially to the scholarship students. Therefore, we have the scholarship consulting service. And this is suitable for students who want to apply for CSE. So what we do is that we help you to choose the program, plan on how to apply. We help you with preparation of the documents, supervising your application submission, and then we will help you with other inquiries and follow-ups as well. So these are basically the packages that we have. We have the starter, general, and also comprehensive package. If you're still unsure about it, maybe you have some more questions, you can just feel free to drop us an email if you have any other questions about our services. Maybe you still have some doubts about choosing the programs or anything, you can just contact us and let us know your concerns. Right. So also for some of you who are not able to take TOEFL or IELTS test this year, we have the International English Test, which is basically it's recognizable by Chinese universities, and you will get the certificate, and you can submit that to the Chinese universities as well for your English certificate. And it is an online test, so there's no need for you to go anywhere. You can just stay in your room. You can just stay in your dining room. You can do it in your living room. Any room is fine. So it's a one-on-one online interview test. It's mainly going to test your English speaking skills. And then last but not least, it is affordable, especially if you compare it with TOEFL or IELTS, because our international English test is only $79. Right, so this is basically the main update for admissions to Chinese universities in September 2021 intake. So the first and most common question is, when can international students come to China? So currently, as of today is March 5. Yeah, currently as of March 5, 2021, international students are still not allowed to enter China due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So there is no official information yet about the date of border reopening for international students, and everybody, including us and the universities, are still waiting for an update from the Chinese government. So will the program starting in spring will be online? Yeah, it depends on the COVID-19 situation, but basically for the spring 2021, for international students who are stuck overseas, the program will be online. And for the international students who are already in China, some universities do offer on-campus classes. But so what happened with the classes in September 2021 intake? For sure, that will depend on the COVID-19 situation and also the border reopening for international students. So basically, if the border open someday before September 2021, then international students shall be able to be invited to study on campus. However, if the border is still closed until September 2021, therefore, universities will arrange online classes again for international students. So, which one will happen? We have no idea yet. So, we need to wait for the update from the Chinese government, and hopefully, the best will happen. All right, so this is the most common question students ask me all the time. So when is the intake? It's usually in March and September each year in China. And is dormitory available? Yes, it's usually available, but it depends on the universities because it's usually very limited. And then you can book the dormitory. We can help you book the dormitory only after you receive the admissions letter from the university. And that's the age requirement to apply to Chinese universities. Uh, you need to be at least 18. But what happens if you're under 18? So if you're under 18, then you need to have a guardian in China. So the guardian can be either a Chinese national or a foreigner who is currently living in China with a valid work permit. And you have to remember that another student cannot be your guardian. So even if, like, let's say you have a sister or your older brother is studying in China, unfortunately, because they are still a student, then they cannot be your guardian. So how much is the tuition fee? Right. So for the tuition fee for degree programs, it starts from 2,500 US dollar per year. For non-degree programs, it starts from 1,000 US dollar per semester. And for the living cost and accommodation in total, you need about 500 to 800 US dollar per month in China. And can I study and work at the same time? Unfortunately, foreign students in China are not allowed to work, whether it's a part-time job or full-time jobs, both are not allowed. It's considered illegal, but they are allowed to do internship as long as you get the permission from your university. So next question, how to get the PhD supervisor acceptance letter, especially for students who wants to apply for PhD programs. So what you need to do is that you need to contact the supervisor at the university by email. There's a list of the professors at the university that you can contact along with their email address. So you need to send them your request to be your PhD supervisor, and you need to make sure that you also send your research proposal because that's what the professor are going to see from you, and that's how they can determine whether or not they can be your PhD supervisor. And last but not least, when is the application deadline for September 2021 intake? The deadline would be around May to July 2021. Right. So these are our contact information if you need further help about applications to Chinese universities, about applications for scholarships or anything, about how to apply to Chinese universities, about documents, like literally anything. You can just drop us an email on apply@china-admissions.com or send us WhatsApp message. And please stay connected with us as well on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and WeChat, and especially on YouTube because we do post several videos a week, maybe like 1 or 2 videos a week. We do share updates about China and live live in China on our YouTube channel as well. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more updates. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's it from us. And then we can go for the Q&A session. We have like 15 minutes approximately to cover all your questions, and my colleague Dogon can also help in answering the questions live here on the Zoom. If you have any questions, again, please just drop your questions on the chat, and we will try to answer your questions one by one.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nadia. So on the chat, we actually have several questions. Maybe I can read it one by one. So like the first question we got is, can I get admission in master program without any research work? So do you want to answer or do you want me to answer?
Yes, you can answer it.
Okay, so it depends from which university and which major of master's program you're applying, because not every master's program needs a research work, right? So if you're applying for MBA degree, it's Master's in Business Administration, you don't have to have a research work. You have to have 2 years of experience. But if you are applying for a research related area, it needs you to do a research, then definitely you need to have a research work. So it depends from which major and which university are you applying. So second one is, I'm currently living in China. Can I apply using my diplomatic passport? So if you have a diplomatic passport and you're applying to study in China, you definitely cannot, because we had the same situation. You will need to go back to your country and change it to a student visa. You cannot study in China legally if you have a diplomatic passport. And the third question, is it easy to enroll to Tsinghua University as an international student? So, like, do you want me to answer, or do you, like, how would we arrange it? Like, I can answer. So it actually depends which major of Tsinghua University. If you want to study a Chinese language program at Tsinghua University, it's relatively easier to get accepted because it's a non-degree program. But if you want to get accepted to degree program, it's definitely one of the hardest universities you can apply to. Their acceptance rate is really low. So it really depends from your qualification, how good you are, what kind of grades you have, and what kind of experiences you had, volunteering experiences. What can like something that you have done make you stand out from others will decide whether you can get accepted to Tsinghua or not. So fourth question. According to my 3.12 out of 4 CGPA, if possible, provide me with enough information as to which universities I can apply to according to my CGPA and where my admission is possible. I have to apply to master in biochemistry and molecular biology. So yeah, Nadia,
So
you can answer.
yeah, for this question, yet there are definitely several options, several universities that you can apply for, and there are several universities as well offering the biochemistry and biology program. All you need to do is obviously to search on China Admissions platform. You need to just go to apply.chinaadmissions.com/search. Basically, the link is over there on your screen, because yeah, for sure there are several of them offering this program, and unfortunately I cannot remember them one by one, so please do check on China Admissions, and then you will find several universities you can apply for.
Okay.
And yeah, the next question, there's this question, maybe you can help to answer. It's from Victor. He's asking, I just finished my IGCSE in Malaysia, can I go to China to study?
Yes, you definitely can. And if you have not yet graduated, if you didn't receive your graduation certificate yet, you will need a letter from your school saying that you already finished your your exams now, and you will receive your graduation diploma at this specific date. So that it's like a pre-graduation letter. And with your pre-graduation letter and with your exam scores, you can definitely apply already.
Oh, do students need to send hard copy documents?
It depends from which university you're applying. So, for example, this year, Peking University still requires hard copies, while Tsinghua University, they don't require hard copies. So it depends which university you want to apply, and we will help you to check whether you need hard copies or not, because COVID situation has changed the admission processing a bit differently. So before, like most universities, they used to require hard copies. Now only few universities, they require hard copies.
Right. So Bita has a question. Some universities have deadline in October. Should I apply for them in March as well?
I'm not sure
I
I
think
understood
for
the question.
yeah, so for even if the universities have deadlines in October, I really do think that it's best for you to apply as soon as possible, because universities, they usually do admissions on a rolling basis, which means the faster you apply, the faster itself you get the admissions. So let's say if you wait until the very last minute to finish your application, then the chances of you of getting the admissions might get lower as well, because the seats might have already been filled in with other students. So it's always best to finish your application as soon as possible.
Yeah. So another question, like if I apply at the China admissions, do I have to apply at studyinchina.csc.edu.cn too? So yes, you will have to apply there, because our platform is applying directly to the university. But if you want to apply to CSC, you better apply there and submit your CSC application form to us, because we are not a direct platform for CSC. It's a governmental organization, so you will need to apply on it by yourself.
Yes, and also we do have this scholarship consulting service that I shared before. So for those of you who are interested to apply for a Chinese government scholarship, I think this is very useful to sign up with the scholarship consulting service, because what we do is that we will guide you throughout the whole application process, from choosing the program and also giving you information about how to apply for the scholarships, what documents you need, up to the point until you are able to submit your application to the CSE or to the university itself. So this is something to consider. I think this has been very useful so far, and some students already registered using the service, and we are going to help them apply for a Chinese government scholarship.
Yeah. So yeah, we understand like how like applying to CSC, you might not know so many things about the scholarship, and the CSC scholarship is a huge scholarship. Nadia and me, we both received CSC scholarship, so it covers free tuition, free insurance, free monthly accommodation, free monthly stipend. So it's a quite huge scholarship, and we understand many of you want to apply to CSC, so you can definitely book this consulting services, so we can guide you with our experiences and with our professionalism to help you to apply to CSC. So I'm looking for MBBS, but I'm trying to apply for scholarship since January. No good response, but I can change to the course to Chinese medicine. What should I do? Okay.
I think basically for MBBS, right, in general, it is very hard to get a scholarship for MBBS because it's a 6 years program, and in general itself, it is very, very competitive to get the admissions for MBBS. Therefore, the scholarships available for MBBS program is very limited, and it will be very, very competitive as well. So most of the universities will ask you, if you are looking for scholarship, they will ask you to apply for the Chinese government scholarship type A, which means you need to send your application through the Chinese embassy, and then the process will be forwarded after that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I apply through CSC and the university needs me to apply to them directly as well, can I apply through China admissions or should I send them by email? So you can apply by us, like we can do your application, but for CSC, as I told you, you have to apply on CSC platform and send us your application. And with the consulting services, we can guide you on how to apply.
Right. So next question from Dave: is there a scholarship for Chinese language program? Well, basically, it's about in a similar situation with the scholarship for MBBS program. So scholarship for the non-degree Chinese language program is also very, very limited and also very competitive to get. And most importantly, Chinese government, they usually allocate the scholarship for Chinese language program. It's only for selected students, especially for those who have a career on for those who pursue higher education in Chinese language field. So this scholarship is not for everyone. It's usually targeted to students who have a career and also or pursue higher education in Chinese language field.
Yeah. So if I apply in your platform, can I apply for scholarships as well? Yes, definitely. Like Nadia just mentioned, university scholarship at SAS, at BLCC, at Jiangsu University, definitely these university scholarships, when you apply on our platform, we can definitely apply them for you. Yeah.
And then I have another question from Victor.
Mhm.
I'm going to take HSK 5 and IELTS in Malaysia. Are these counted as part of accepted course in China? I'm not sure what you mean, but yes, you can take your IELTS or HSK 5 in Malaysia, and then you can use the certificate for your applications to Chinese universities.
Yes, but definitely, like I think, like you have to choose between IELTS or HSK, like because IELTS is for English taught program and HSK 5 is for Chinese taught program. If you want to give a try to apply for both programs taught in Chinese and English, then take both exams. But if you only want to study in English, then you don't need to take HSK 5 exam. If you want to study in Chinese, then you don't have to take IELTS because I think it will save you a lot of time if you choose now. And
Next question from Mochini. What if some documents are left behind because of the law process in different countries? For example, uh, you need to wait like 3 weeks in Lesotho to get the police clearance. Will it be allowed to submit these documents after the deadline has passed?
I see. So it actually depends. Like if you're just talking about the self-funded university application, like now it's a great time for you to apply, and the deadlines are 3 months later. So if you apply now in 3 weeks, you can definitely submit before the deadline. But if you are talking about applying in July at the deadline, then probably it will be hard for you to submit it 3 weeks later, because universities will already make their admission decision by that time. And if you don't have your full documents, it's pretty hard to submit it later. And if we are talking about CSC application, CSC application requires non-criminal record and police certificate, right? And for the CSC application, you definitely need to have this police clearance certificate by the time you apply. So I would just advise you to apply for this document as soon as possible if you're applying for CSC, and also for university scholarship, like university applications, you better just apply it and have it before the deadline.
Right. Thanks, Dalton, for answering. So, next question from Angela. Do you know where the foreigner physical examination can be done? Yes, it can be done in any hospitals or local clinics in your home countries. And then you just need the doctors or the physicians to fill in the form for you and then sign it and also stamp it. And then you can use the form for your applications to Chinese universities. And yeah, the next question from Angela: What if you are already in China? So if you're already in China, in certain cities, they have the appointed hospitals where you can do it, where they can do this test for foreigners. So you need to check exactly like which hospital
Mhm.
is appointed in the city that you are currently living in China. Hi, yeah. So next question from Mehebo. Will the borders be open by September for incoming students? So the next question from Mehebo, will the borders be open by September for incoming international students? About this, we don't know for sure because we are not Chinese government. And then, well, basically everybody needs to wait from an update, from an official update from the Chinese government. So let's just hope for the best, and hopefully the border will be open soon for international students.
Yes, and for that, like if you are a student from South Korea, then you can come to China already. Like there is like only one country, China has opened their student applications and students can come to China, and if they're from South Korea. So like I think we hope that in September, like China will open to more countries, but we will know it by July or August. I think it really depends, as Nadia said, from the Chinese government policy.
Right.
So
So
next question, is your 690 service, does that include scholarships?
So yeah, so for these services that we offer, let me go back to the page. Right, so these services are actually for self-funded applications, especially for the guaranteed admission service. We don't guarantee scholarship. Therefore, the 690 US dollar we offer is for scholarship. It's for self-funded applications. It is for students who wish to self-finance their studies in China. And there's also another questions from the student before, because he's already on the application page and then he is confused whether to choose the basic free service where he only needs to pay the application fee or the priority service. So I think for the priority service, we will prioritize your application and we will also do your application much faster. We'll process it faster than students who use the basic free service. And then it also includes other benefits as well. So in the 300 US dollar, that already includes one application fee. So for example, if the application fee is $80, then it is already included in a 300 US dollars. And then we will basically support you with communication by email. And then we can also schedule a call to give you some updates about your application. But in conclusion, for the priority application service, it's all about fast track application and communication for your application.
So how long does it take for the university to reply for the result of the application? And when is the Fuda University deadline? So usually it takes for the university 3 to 4 weeks to actually, if you have a full application, right? If you have all the documents, then it will take 3 to 4 weeks for the university to actually give a result or maybe an update on your application. And for the Fuda University deadline, I'm not sure whether you're applying for bachelor's degree or master's degree, because bachelor's degree deadline for Fuda University has already passed. And the master's and PhD deadline are 19th of March. So it's actually after 2 weeks, it's a deadline for Fudan University September 2021 intake. So as Nadia said in the presentation, C9 universities, they have very early deadlines. So Fudan is one of them, and Peking University and Tsinghua University is one of them. So if you are applying to C9, you better apply even today, because their deadline probably already passed, or it's gonna be like passing within 2 weeks.
The next question from Jen, can you be accepted for a Chinese language bachelor degree program without any HSK certification? The answer is actually no. So if you are applying for a Chinese taught bachelor program in any major, then you need to submit HSK certificate when you are applying. So usually Chinese universities will ask you to submit HSK level 5 certificate if you're applying for a Chinese taught degree programs.
Yes, and that this is because like HSK is only a proof that you speak Chinese. So if you apply to bachelor's program without HSK, like how would the university know that you speak Chinese? So HSK is just a qualification and a paper to show that you can understand your classes. That's why it's a required document.
Right. So next question from, I think it's from Victor. Can you give a clear message whether the acceptance level to study in China, for example, A level, O level, and or etc. And the next question is, he can only get a criminal record, non-criminal record in his country after he received the admissions letter. So how can he? What should he do?
Okay, what was the question about A level, O level?
Can you give a clear message whether the acceptance level to study in China, for example, O level, A level, and
It's A
etc.?
level. It's level for sure, because like after you have A levels, you can apply to Chinese universities, because O level is still early to apply. And for this non-criminal record, that's a very hard situation to face, because like I think you might be from, maybe you're located in Saudi Arabia, because we only face this situation of non-criminal record from the students located in Saudi Arabia. And if you are applying for CSC, yes, non-criminal record is required. And if they cannot give, so it's very hard for you to receive CSC scholarship if you cannot provide this document. And of course, CSC as an organization cannot give you a letter saying you got accepted to CSC just to get your non-criminal record, because you have to have it before application. So I think for your case, you will have to contact your police station and tell them like what they were applying for CSC, and you really require to have it before application, because it's a governmental organization. They cannot provide you such a letter stating that you need to provide non-criminal records. So you will probably have to maybe contact an agency or a police station so that you have it before your application.
Right. So to add a little bit more, especially in terms of the acceptance level, well, basically in general, you need to finish a senior high school to apply for bachelor's program, which means the entire education duration is a total of 12 years. Then you can apply for bachelor's program in China. Right. So there are several more questions we can complete before the time is up. So from Ibrahim, what if you cannot afford to fly to China to attend the universities? Do they give an option to complete your degree by online classes? Actually, no, there is no option for full to get your degree by full online classes. Although online classes is now being held by Chinese universities, but it is mainly because the border is closed because of the COVID-19 situation, and universities are not able to invite the students to come to China. But once students are able to be invited back to China, then you need to study on campus at the Chinese university. I think some of the questions asked here we have answered it before, so we'll select the new questions.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So maybe this is from Jen. Will universities automatically grant a scholarship to outstanding students, or do you need to make a specific application? How do you know if you will receive a full or partial scholarship?
Yeah. So it depends from the university. There are automatic scholarships like Jiangsu University Master Scholarship. So if you get accepted by the program, you get the Jiangsu University Presidential Scholarship for master's or PhD degree. But there are other universities that you apply, and then they will rank you, right? Like if you are the most outstanding student there, then they might probably like offer you a partial scholarship or full scholarship like Beijing government scholarship. So it depends from your application and the university that you you're applying to.
Right. Next question from Siddhartha. Can I get into Tsinghua University for my bachelor's in computer science in English language? Unfortunately, the answer is no, simply because Tsinghua University does not offer bachelor's in computer science in English. So basically, all of the bachelor's program offered by Tsinghua University is going to be taught in Chinese. Therefore, you need HSK level 5 to apply to Tsinghua universities. Otherwise, you can apply to other universities in China, let's say Beijing Institute of Technology, to study computer science in English.
Yes.
From Novalia. So you said that scholarship for MBBS is competitive, but what about scholarship for a finance program? Is it also competitive? I think she's referring to bachelor's in finance.
Yes, so I just finished my application to Chinese embassy in my country. So it actually also depends, like from which, if you're applying for CSC, the most major thing they see is which country you're from, because CSC is a government scholarship. They have quota for each country. So if you are from Pakistan, like you have a lot of competition. So it's like no matter it's MBBS or any other major or finance, it's very hard for you to get CSC for, especially if you're from Pakistan, because of the competition. But if you're applying from Australia or New Zealand, so if especially in finance major, you probably stand much better chances to receive this CSC scholarship, just because the quota and the competition quota is more and competition is less. So it depends from which country you're from.
Right. But in general, CSC scholarship application is always competitive. So make sure that you can do well so that your application can stand out.
By
And
the way, I
also,
came from Indonesia. I come from Indonesia.
hi.
Yeah, so Indonesia, it actually also depends from which university, right? Because if you are applying by the university are the education institution that will choose you, nominate you for their CSC application. So if you have a really good grade, so if they nominate you, probably you stand a chance. But also I should tell you, Indonesia is a country with high competition. We have like so many Indonesian students coming to China, so CSC is still competitive for Indonesian students.
Okay, thank you.
So from Muhammad, I don't have HSK, but I want to apply for Chinese language program, and how can I apply? Actually, Muhammad, our session here today is to share with you on how you can apply through Chinese universities to study, let's say, 1 year Chinese language program. And so you can just go to this link over here, apply.china-admissions.com/search to find the Chinese language program that you want to apply for. There are hundreds of them that you can apply for. You can also study online. And yeah, just select the program that you want to apply for, and then you can start your online application right away with China Admissions.
Yeah. So just to add, like, yeah, you don't have HSK level, but the thing is that you don't need any HSK to apply for Chinese language, because Chinese language programs will teach you from the beginning. So anyone who wants to apply to study Chinese language program, you don't have to have any HSK, because Chinese language program is a non-degree program. So
I think there's another question about aerospace engineering program. So which university do you recommend for aerospace engineering? So first of all, I would recommend this university, Northwestern Polytechnical University in Xi'an. They do offer bachelor in aerospace engineering, and besides that, I do recommend Beihang University in Beijing. So Beihang University is also well known as the aerospace university. So their main strength is their aerospace engineering program, and it's taught in English for international students in bachelor's level.
yes. So another question, like how to study Chinese language fast within a year. So many, like when you apply to our Chinese language programs at different Chinese universities, there are like different ones that you can choose. There are like intensive Chinese ones that you can reach HSK 5 to 6 level within 1 year. So you can choose the intensive Chinese program so that you will learn. It's like you will have, usually you have classes from 8 a.m. till 12 a.m. and then again from 1:30 p.m. till 5 p.m. So every day you will have this schedule to study intensive Chinese so you can reach HSK 5 or 6 level within 1 year.
Another interesting program is this Dalian Yusof University of Information Online Chinese Language Program, where you can reach from 0 to HSK4 in just 26 weeks. So 26 weeks, I believe that's just about 6-7 months, right? Yeah. So yeah. So it's very intensive program as well. So each day you will study about 3 to 4 hours of comprehensive Chinese language, which means you will study Chinese speaking, listening, reading, writing. You will learn everything about Chinese language, and hopefully in 26 weeks you can improve your skills from 0 to HSK level 4, and then you can pass HSK level 4, and you just a little bit. You just need a little bit more push to get HSK level 5 so you can get the certificate if you want to apply for Chinese degree programs.
Yes. So yeah, we have all, like, the last question, is there universities you're affiliated with? Like, we have like cooperation with more than 100 Chinese universities. So yeah.
Yes, I think it's over here, right? So yeah, we have cooperation with a lot of Chinese universities in mainland China. It's not just the one in Beijing, but also in other cities like Xiamen, Shanghai, Suzhou, Wuhan, Foshan, and many other cities. So we do have cooperations with a lot of Chinese universities in mainland China. And if you want to apply, you can simply go to our platform, China Admissions, to start your online application.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining our session, and thank you Nadia for a great presentation.
Thank you, guys. So if you have further questions, I'll show you the contact details. Right. So if you have more questions about admissions to Chinese universities, about how to apply, or maybe you already apply on China Admissions and you want us to give a feedback for your application, feel free to drop us an email or a WhatsApp message on there. There's the contact information is there, and you can also schedule a call with us. And stay connected with us on our social medias as well: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and also Wechat. So I think those are all for today. I hope this session is useful for all of you who are applying to Chinese universities for the September 2021 intake. And thanks again to my colleague Dolgun as well for helping to answer all of the questions you guys have for this session. So we will see you on the next session. And yeah, good luck for your applications to Chinese universities. Bye. Thank you.
老师，现在我有一个问题，我可以问吗？
可以问吧。
你可以给我你的微信吗？Actually, I want your WeChat. Can you give me your WeChat? I will call you
you can just follow our WeChat official account.
Okay. Actually, I already.
It's over there, and you can just scan it and then connect with us on WeChat.
Okay, 谢谢。
Yeah, you're welcome. Bukasi. All right, thank you guys for joining today's online session. We hope it's useful for you, and good luck with your online applications. And China Admissions is here, ready to help you with your online applications to Chinese universities. Bye. See you next time.